Wait, what is happening? Yes, that is a picture of my girlfriend who I love. How is your wife? What is happening right now? He seems cool because he tries as hard as possible to appeal to the widest set of people possible. He's like, if you were to test a human in front of 20 focus groups online, content consumers, and produce a machine to appeal to all of them evenly. Ludwig seems cool, but he sure associates himself with some cringe people. You, Hasan, the AI porn guy. D went after Cutie on his podcast. What is happening? Slime got into it with D on Twitter. Why is this? That's why it's silly. Okay, we'll cover this dumb shit in a second. He engaged in a criminal act, chat. A criminal act. What was the criminal act? Making a joke about how Destiny is a Wikipedia warrior. Which, by the way, isn't even a joke. He is a fucking Wikipedia warrior. He literally is. And it's not just that, like, Wikipedia sucks for research, because I rely on Wikipedia every now and then as well. It's what he does with the Wikipedia, or why he reads the Wikipedia pages and browses them, that actually makes him a clown to anyone that is even a little bit more knowledgeable on what the fuck Israel has been doing and Israel has been up to. Okay? Divorcelli, Octoberelli, made up his mind on Israel's genocide and said it was a good thing, and then started engaging in post hoc rationalizations as to why it was a good thing, without having any knowledge on the issue whatsoever. And because he did all of this objective fact-based research, which I consider to be cherry-picked quote mining operations on Wikipedia for most of his quote-unquote research, okay? Research to do what, mind you? Research to, again, justify Israel's genocide. Ironic, because he was not knowledgeable on the matter and very openly started learning more and more in one direction only, which was the direction that would justify his earlier assessment of the situation without any facts whatsoever. He went off on a whim. He decided he was on a position and refused to budge from said position regardless, and looked at any and every outlet that would deliver him some talking points that he could just disseminate, deploy against those who are not very skilled orators. This is how he gets to operate as the brilliant intellectual champion, spite-driven politics in general. So here's what Slime had to say, and here's the very normal reaction from his community.
This is like Destiny just reading about Israel-Palestine on Wikipedia and then hopping in. Destiny just reading about Israel-Palestine on Wikipedia and Wikipedia.
The most normal community of all time, by the way. What would you do in this situation? Let's say you're a fan of Divorcelli Octoberelli. Let's say you're also simultaneously a fan of the Yard podcast. Both are cringe, maybe not as cringe as one another. Obviously, the Yard is less cringe, still cringe though. They are my enemies after all. Just kidding, I love them. But you know, I'm gonna stop memeing about my anger towards the Yard, my fake anger towards the Yard, and my resentment towards them for the sake of this conversation. It's going to be really hard. But Slime says this as an offhanded remark. Let's say you are a fan of Octoberelli. How do you operate? You might write a mean-spirited comment underneath the video, be like, Slime, you're actually wrong. My favorite content creator actually isn't just reading Wikipedia pages. He's reading a lot of other Wikipedia pages as well. Or if you're a normal person, you go, haha, that was funny, move on. Except Octoberelli doesn't have a normal community. Divorcelli has a community of some of the most rabid, some of the most extremely online, and some of the most toxic motherfuckers on the fucking planet. So what did they do instead? That's right. They made a compilation video of all of the reading that Destiny has done on the matter. And that's why he's so knowledgeable. And that's why it's okay to kill 15,000 babies. It's actually totally fine. Why can't you stop sucking D's dick? That's awesome. They made a fan cam. Everything is documented. Everything is recorded. Everything is streamed. Everything can be seen. And then Destiny's knows in stream VODs. Checkmate! Oh, wait, hold on. I think Jarvis and Ted are here. Shit, hold on. I think what's really funny about this entire thing is that he did all that reading to fucking scour talking points and still got owned. Okay? I find that to be fucking hilarious. That my man did hours and hours of reading on stream and still is a, one, genocide defender, and two, did a phenomenally bad job at defending said genocide in front of people who have done infinitely more reading and chronicling on the matter. I will not be involving Jarvis and Ted Nivison on this. Yeah, I don't know how, if these guys are saying that like I'm sucking Destiny's dick for this, you know, for making fun of his fan base going absolutely nutty mode on this. I don't know what they're doing. Also, the knowledgeable factor doesn't equate being biased. What? Benny Moore's a good example. Yes, Benny Morris is very knowledgeable and he's still a fucking weirdo. Okay. So he said, I made some people very grumpy again. To be honest, I'm surprised DGers even watch our show. Maybe we really are just that funny. I also had it out with a few of the strays. In the weekly EP thread, and one of them was actually really reasonable and had normal comments and stuff. Not necessarily all stuff I agreed with, but was normal about it. And I was like, man, what a time to be alive. Anyway, I am not a debate streamer. Thank fucking Christ for that. I also have always felt trying to win an internet argument on my behalf makes me uncomfortable. But if this is your actual job for a living, you kind of accept guys who put QR codes in their fan cams. I think all things considered, I've kept my thoughts on Palestine pretty close to the chest because it's oddly more personal issue for me, considering my friend has talked to me about it for the past 7 or so years, namely free Palestine right now. But make no mistake, I will always take a chance to fire a pithy line at Destiny because it is above all, as evidenced here and now many other times, really, really funny. Goon Commander out. This is objectively abnormal behavior. To which, lol, sorry, should have just posted this. Lol, are you okay, Ludwig's second generic white friend? You can always just not talk about stuff you're clueless about. No one will judge you. I am flattered that you spend so much time on Reddit posting about me, though. Do you jerk off fantasizing about my sex life? Is that why you're posting so much about it? To which he responded, nope, it's just the funniest thing about you, man. To which one of his fan base, one of his dick riders wrote, Ludwig seems cool, but he sure associates himself with some cringe people. You, Hasan, the AI porn guy, which once again, these guys' values are incredibly distorted, maybe directly the exact opposite of what they should look like. Considering that they're like, yeah, you guys are the cringe ones, and not the guy who makes a living defending the ethics of incest, whose fan base also does that regularly. Anyway, you will never be able to understand the way that the rest of the world looks at people like you if you are that lost in the fucking sauce. Okay? If you are permanently stuck inside of Destiny's cult, let's be real, you're most likely never going to understand the way the rest of the world views you. They see you as gross weirdos, okay? Those losers literally defended the AI porn saying it's not that bad. They don't even care. I know, which is ironic because he replied to the AI porn guy by saying he seems really cool because he tries as hard as possible to appeal to the widest set of people possible. He's like you if you were to test a human in front of 20 focus groups online, content consumers, and produce a machine to appeal to all of them evenly. To which Ludwig responded with, why you say fuck me for? To which I believe he responded to as well. I don't even know what he fucking said. But I guess now it's like, now that's basically a compliment. No, it's just, once again, you cannot fucking shit on someone by being like, yeah, man, you actually suck because like people like you a lot. Me, on the other hand, I have a community of rabid psychopathic losers who follow my every whim, and I've become a truly horrifyingly toxic person for every normal person outside of the orbiters that are desperately suckling on my teat for the crumb of clout I will give them, until I, of course, discard them and sick my rabid fan base on them to permanently make their lives miserable. That's it. That's all this is. That's all he does. There you go. Mr. Guy who cares about AI porn, Destiny, in this situation, hits him with a "don't you mean," and posts a photo of Cutie crying during the AI porn scandal, to which he replied with, "Yes, that's a picture of my girlfriend who I love. How is your wife? The yard with Destiny would be cool, but you guys wouldn't do it, lol. I hung out with him once in person. The vibes were atrocious." No, guys, you don't understand. I'm very fair, balanced, and honest. That's why everyone in my immediate orbit that isn't like just simply trying to get clout off of me absolutely fucking despises me, as opposed to all these other people out there who are friends with one another. They're all fake and phony, and that's why they like one another. I, on the other hand, am a routine bridge burner, not because I'm a horrifying, monstrous piece of shit whose fan base is literally cyber stalkers, comprised entirely of cyber stalkers. It's those guys who are friends with one another after working with one another for years and years and years that actually suck, because their friendship is actually fake. It's phony. It's so funny that his fan base cannot comprehend this. Here, the door's unlocked. His fan base cannot comprehend this. I was never arguing in the first place. You people can only interpret the world through debate mechanics. Wake up. You're in a coma. Wake up. Will they actually shake out of this? Hold on. I don't want you guys to be involved in this and catch a stray. Okay. We'll get to you guys in a second. But it's crazy. It's actually crazy. Especially considering that this kind of behavior makes you so unlikable. You made the claim that he only reads Wikipedia, even though he did 4 months of reading on stream. Now, after being called out, you deflect because you're a dishonest rat who was never arguing in good faith. Bro. Stop. You are just as literalist as those fucking Bible thumping freaks. Like, you are behaving in a positively Baptist manner. Specifically, not even for organized religion, mind you, which would be at least a little bit more understandable considering that you've been like brain broken since birth into believing such things. But you're doing that for a 40-year-old, two-time divorce champion, genocide defender who regularly says the N-word. Stop trying to fucking debate everything. Stop. Just be fucking normal. Please. Having to read that random tweet supporting dudes a crime against me personally, it's just wild, man. It's wild. It doesn't make any sense to be such a rabid, sycophantic supporter of an online content creator to this degree. It just doesn't make any sense, especially when he so frequently shows that he is a truly unlikable person. Yeah, and then this is his reply. Don't worry, with the technology we have now, pretty soon we can all love her. Hey, maybe one day they'll even be able to deepfake you a personality. Like, that's not an own, dude. You're just being a piece of shit. And I don't know how to explain this. I know I can't explain this to him, right? But maybe you can explain this to his fan base. Like, let's analyze what he just said here, okay? Ludwig said, that's a picture of my girlfriend who I love. How was your wife? After Destiny posted a photo of Cutie Cinderella crying during the AI porn saga, right? Because people had violated her consent, and she found out that someone who she was friends with and very close with had actually frequented a website that literally had AI porn of Cutie Cinderella and many other people that we know, which is, you know, understandably an emotional moment. Destiny posted that photo to be like, fuck you, I don't care about you, I don't care about your girlfriend, I don't care about her feelings, right? Which his entire fan base of rabid sycophants are currently saying is based. To which this is how Ludwig replied. And then he doubled down by basically saying, no, I will jerk off to your girlfriend's AI porn. Like, we all will. You didn't own anybody in that situation. You just owned yourself. You once again showed everyone outside of your tiny dick-riding fan base that you are a truly horrifying person. You're just a bad guy. And not even like, I'm a bad guy, I'm a villain type of way, but just a bad person in general. In many ways, this is no different than like some of the worst scumbags you've ever seen being like, I'm a pedo hunter. Destiny routinely will go after people and try to expose them for being bad, only in an effort to have you forget how much of a bad guy he actually is. He didn't have to be a fucking asshole here. I'm sure that many content creators who are behind closed doors genuinely terrified of his fucking fan base doing the same cyber stalking, doxing, harassment campaigns that they've engaged towards not only me, but many other people even in my orbit, many other people who are completely removed from me exclusively because they've ever like agreed with me or whatever, okay? That they would probably want to maintain a neutral relationship with him because they don't want the fucking rabid dogs of DGG up their asshole for any and everything that they do, especially because these guys who, once again, routinely fucking say the N-word and use that as like social status, basically, regularly say slurs and edgy shit, can so quickly flip a script and be like, I can't believe this guy was being ableist. I can't believe Hasan said cracker. That is the worst racism that I have ever seen. It's all concern trolling, okay? It's all concern trolling, and everybody recognizes it, but people really don't talk about it as much because it's just not worth it to talk about it because his fan base goes crazy. They go rabid mode immediately. Like, think about how rabid this entire saga is. All of it unfolded because Slime dared defy the deity. Okay? That's crazy. Slime defied the deity. He did not deify my iconic debate lord. He said one sentence. He said, yeah, dude, this is just like when Destiny reads Wikipedia pages in a fucking hour-long podcast, to which his fan base has been like hyper analytical and hypercritical of, like, oh, excuse me, here's a fucking epic meme of him reading a couple JSTOR articles. They rely on their concern trolling somehow reaching normie audiences, so they will start hating on you too, only now their grossness is having the opposite effect. Exactly. If anything, This proves he doesn't actually care about anything he talks about. It's all a LARP for views. He literally explained how immoral the deepfake corn was, and now he's making sick jokes about it for the likes. Disgusting and pathetic person. Compare that to you who actually joining strikes, donating to labor unions, actually taking action. There's a clear distinction in the quality of human being between you two. I don't want to be compared to him at all. I know that that comparison will benefit me every single time, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to be in the same conversation with him. I think he's a truly despicable person, just an awful guy. And I mean, like, not just awful in the fucking values that he supposedly espouses in order to, I guess, quote unquote, aesthetically look like he won an argument. I mean, just like a bad dude in general. Just bad to every single person. Always transactional. And that is the reason why the people that have been closest to him for as long as he has been doing this kind of thing are people who like rely on him. You know what I mean? And maybe even are afraid of leaving his side because they've seen time and time again what happens when you dare defy him. His audience is absolutely weaponized towards anyone and everyone that seemingly is in his crosshairs. It's unmanageable. It's untenable. It makes no fucking sense. The spiritual successor to Kiwi Farms in every way. Yes, it's all a bunch of fucking old ass and maybe some young red-pilled groypers and those who like hate the fucking red pill podcasters themselves as well. It's an eclectic group of individuals that are purely driven by spite and hatred for Destiny's perceived enemies, whoever they may be at any given moment. His entire Reddit, his entire subreddit is dedicated to his enemies. They talk more about his enemies, myself included, than they do about Destiny. Okay? And no, it is not exactly like my community at all. That is the final bastion of cope. The final level of cope that you engage in is to say, oh, well, he's bad, so are you. No, I've actively refused to talk about him for a very long time for this specific reason, because I think that this overall toxicity yields a toxic community that is constantly out for blood. I don't think that that is productive to what I am trying to do. The last couple of months have, of course, been different, which I'm sure many of you will point to now, both in my community and both all those outsiders who are now proving the point that I was making, okay, in their cult-like fanaticism, coming in here to be like, no, I'm going to actually defend him right now by saying you do that as well. When we have leaked the address of people, oh yeah, when have we leaked the address of people? When have we made a website with an IP tracker? Exactly. I've never made a website dedicated to Destiny's many fucking statements, okay? Whereas his community has made a Hamasabi website with a fucking IP tracker on it, specifically saying that, like, me and any other Arab or Muslim content creator that dare speak about Palestine are actually all terrorist Islamist fundamentalists. That is just pure Islamophobia. That's just psychopathic behavior. As someone who's been here since the start, our community can be kind of cringe, but never straight up evil. Can you explain how your community was not responsible in Ethan leaving leftovers? Yeah, this is another fucking like W that Destiny and his community have been able to put together. It's like, dude, what have you done? What have you done? All you've done is like try to desperately go after any and every person that I've ever collaborated with and try to drive a wedge, which is awesome. It's great. I like that. Congratulations. You know? I don't think it was Destiny's community in and of itself, but ultimately it doesn't matter. There's a reason why I can still say that, you know, I'm friendly with Ethan and I'm friends with Ethan, regardless of the fact that we don't have a political podcast anymore. It's perfectly understandable and reasonable that he would not want to engage in political coverage, considering the toxicity that comes along with it, especially when talking about an issue such as Israel-Palestine. The question that you must ask yourself now is, why am I this aggressive for a whole other man. The community that you come from quite literally fucking doctored footage saying horrifically anti-Semitic shit, only to send it to Ethan, by the way. Was there actual fucking rabid takes in the chat against Ethan? Certainly. Okay? Certainly there were. But the lengths that your community went to, that are you're currently defending right now, okay, is unimaginable. You can't turn around and be like, oh, well, Destiny found out that those were fake screenshots and deleted the Reddit post or whatever after you did that anyway. One must ask, why are there so many rabid psychos in this community that literally doctors screenshots? One must also ask, why? Why you go to such lengths to defend this person that doesn't know who you are, will never know who you are. He shared that screenshot himself first, but they don't mention that, it seems. Yeah. I'm sure many of the brigaders that are coming in here right now don't know that for basically an entire month, I yelled at my own community over and over again, time and time again, to shut the fuck up and to pick better targets for their anger in the Israel-Palestine conversation. Yet that probably didn't make it through your crosshairs because it wasn't filtered through many of the orbiter, drama farmer, Keemstar adjacent, weirdo content creators that routinely make videos about it. I banned a shit ton of people over saying unhinged shit about Ethan and Gila as well. Or maybe you do know, and you know that it doesn't benefit your argument, so you refuse to admit it, or you refuse to reckon with it. Anyway, the greatest way to deal with this is just sunlight. 1,200 of them sitting in an offline chat, hate watching this right now. I know, it's just sunlight. Just get a little bit of that in your body. Go out and touch grass. I promise you, one day, I hope, you will look back at your behavior that you're engaging in now and think, man, I can't believe I went to these lengths to defend someone who was like truly an unlikable individual. I, on the other hand, am now going to move on from this segment, and we're going to do a you laugh, you lose. Oh my God. It's crazy how defense have no idea how lame you look. Hate watching someone is so goddamn stupid. Yeah, exactly. All right. You didn't even weaponize your chat against Ethan. It was just the heat of the moment toxicity that came from some chatters after an understandably emotional argument. Yeah. No, it was. And I tried to course correct many times over. Look, I don't fault many for just seeing a lot of this stuff as pure drama and pure content. I get it. We seem like we're not normal human beings. It's especially shitty when a objectively sociopathic content creator also leans into that aspect of like, no, we are all puppeteers of other people's lives and we get to behave this way. That's the reason why his community is so fucking toxic. Because he, in many respects, also behaves like a fucking cretin that should have been left behind with the rest of the fucking 4chan poll or Kiwi Farms losers. But he's like really invested in that kind of thing. And his community loves like playing a role in this way in many people's lives and other people's lives. But once again, that is precisely the reason why. What? That is precisely the reason why Just take solace in that all. Wait, what? Just take solace that all of the people in the space, Hasan is the one most likely to commit suicide in the next 10 years. That's such sad, pathetic, desperate cope, dude. Oh man, that's so funny. Yeah, true. I think that's a little bit of a self-report, but what do I know? Destiny's not very good at seeing the future. I know a lot of his fan base loves talking about my wrong prediction on Russia invading Ukraine all the time, but he's made many such predictions about my future prospects, not limited to me potentially committing suicide in the next 10 years, which he's excited about, I guess, but more so about how my career would have fucking fallen apart inevitably. Perhaps that is the reason why he's such a rabid fucking fan, and definitely a major part of the Hasan Clips industrial complex. Making more videos about me than my fucking fans do. Literally, for the past 5 years, this dude has not stopped crying and trying to masquerade as this like edgy guy who doesn't care. Well, we know what he does care about. I believe it was what, 2019? 2019 when Destiny complained to his own community that he had actually created the political space on Twitch and that I was a latecomer to it and I hadn't actually done enough work in this field, and that he, by debating JonTron, had actually done a phenomenal amount of work creating a safe space on Twitch. Perhaps that's the reason why he's so angry all the time. Resentment that he felt that I was outgrowing him in viewership. Yes. Almost every single fucking hater comment that you hear in this chat can be directly traced back to his community. Still hasn't worked. I've been streaming since 2009. Before you, no one was doing news coverage daily or just pure politics. Most people were even afraid to mention politics. Oh man, don't say that around Destiny. He's going to get in his feelings again. All right, let's get back to being normal, healthy people.